Hey Virgo, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing our reading for the month of July, and I will be doing things a little bit differently in regards to the layout and how I do the reading. I will let the guides kind of tell me what they want me to say and how they want me to say it, and that's because the collective, and this is all the signs, are kind of putting out an energy of like, I'm done, I'm fed up, I just want something different, I want to change, I want something new, and so that it's kind of being manifested right now. And I see a beautiful door, like image in my head of a door that's opening, and there's beautiful white light that's shining through, and everyone's guides are kind of like trying to coerce you guys to kind of walk through that door. So let's see what that message is, but just remember, this is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate, totally okay. Just leave it for those that need to hear right now and come back for next month reading. There's just a certain message that this collective that's watching needs to hear. So if it's like that's not for me, fine, but next month will be a totally different reading, and that might be for you. But definitely take the theme of what I say. So it might not be the same subject, but the theme, the lesson, the message, the meaning might be for you in some kind of different aspect of your life. So let's just start with what we have from your guides for the month of July. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Okay, there's a massive calling that's taking place, and I feel like you guys are wanting to change like something big time. You've been training this for lifetimes. So I feel like you guys have, I think there's like, I don't know why I'm getting work, and it might be work. It doesn't have to be. It could be relationships, again, friendships, and again, places where it makes the most sense in your life. But there's an energy that's coming through of you have a higher calling, and you've known that, and you've never felt comfortable where you are. You are not comfortable, but you felt like there's something else, like there's something more that you could be doing, or you should be doing, or that there's something else for you. I feel like you're getting signs to kind of do something different. I feel like the situation that you're in, like I'm getting like the feeling, this is just a feeling right now. So I'm going to try to make it as broad as possible, but the feeling is very like upsetting, because like you're where we worked hard for where you are right now, but like you feel like you need to let go, and it's saddening, it's defeating, because it's like, why do I have that feeling? Like I want to be successful within this situation. So maybe you're in a relationship and you've been in a relationship for a while, but you see that that's not going anywhere, and you feel like you have a feeling you have to let go. Maybe you're in a job and like you worked really hard to get there, and now you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore, and it's like, I like, what else am I going to do? I feel like there's a knowing at this point of like everything that you've, okay, this is a message. There are things that you have done in your life collectively, for your own life, not as a collective, as people. I'm saying for yourself. Like, so adding up everything that you've done in your entire life, I am getting a message that like, if you took all of this, that is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Like all of your lessons, all the things you've learned, all the things, like that is what you need, that is what you want, that is what you're trained and have been trained to do, and this is like a theme in every lifetime. And it's just a matter of you getting there. And that's the door. That's like the beautiful door that your guides want you to go through. Yeah, so that's interesting. So I'm getting the Fool, the Eight of Cups, and the Six of Cups. So I'm getting a sense of like, if you're in a relationship, this is the breakup card, right? But it could also be like you leaving a job, you walking away from something, or like if a group of people aren't serving you, maybe your family isn't really treating you well. It's kind of turning your back on something and walking away and ending something and taking that leap of faith. Because I think this like calling that you had, this like been training for this for lifetimes, like there's something bigger than you, and like bigger that you should be doing. And I feel like you've had this intuition of like, I want to do this, but that's not realistic. And it's about taking the leap of faith. It's about letting go and just being like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna let the universe catch me. I just have to do it. And that's what that door is. That is what that door is for you in this instance, Virgo. And I do get a sense of, so this card is showing me nostalgia, but it's not necessarily like a childhood nostalgia or like going back to old days, but it is in the sense that like there was a moment in your life where you felt secure and comfortable. And I'm not talking about kids like where you didn't have responsibilities. I feel like there was a time in your life where things were good, that you didn't have any stress, and like you want that so bad. Like maybe you had a job that was like content and good, and then you decided to go on a whim and try something different, and you worked so hard and it's not working for you anymore. You're just not aligned with it anymore, and you're like wanting to go back to that job, but you don't want to do that job. You just want that feeling. You know what I mean? That's what's going to give you this. Like this, like taking the leap of faith, walking away from something which is scary. That's scary. That is terrifying. Um like realizing that that could be a reality that your guides kind of want you to like do. That's this message. That is a message of July, which could be like a long time coming because again, like this is like a big change. I feel an energy of a massive, massive change when it comes to that. And it could be a relationship, like walking away from like it sounds like a long-term relationship kind of a situation. So if you're walking away from a relationship, it wasn't anything recent, it was something long term, and that's terrifying. Or maybe like it was like a situationship that you guys kind of been like back and forth on, and it's just been a long time coming. It doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, like walking away from that and taking a leap of faith of something different is what the calling is for this reading. So we have B Spirit, sweet results await. And I feel like there's a fear, and this is like your validation from your guides. I think there is a fear of walking away because you don't know what's going to happen. And your guides are like, look, I'm telling, like, this is literally like they're telling you walking away means sweet results. I mean, what else do I need to say? I guess there really isn't much, but we're going to pull some more cards to see because this is just as much validation as you need. Like, it's here. Yeah. I'm just, yeah. So, it's just so funny to me when I get like validation from the cards. We have the Six of Wands, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So whatever, first of all, victory card here. Again, sweet results await, victory card. If you need any more validation, that's your second one. That's your second one. Walking away, as scary as that sounds, from whatever you're doing is what's going to lead to like victory. And I think there's a scarcity mindset. I think there's a fear of like, well, can I pay my bills? Or will I be alone forever? Will I find the next person? Like, am I going to make new friends? Like, if I move, like, am I, if I move to a different state, am I going to meet new people? Like, am I going to like be alone? Like, there's always going to be that fear. But like, God, this is just all like in our own head. Like, don't manifest that. This is like not the right energy to put towards, especially the new chapter, which again, I see a door that's opening with beautiful white light. If you can hold on to that beautifulness and like the warmth and happiness of white light, then nothing can go wrong. Don't put the energy out like, oh, well, what if, what if, what if? But like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of what ifs, but you're never going to know until you try, right? And I'm getting a sense of like you have, like your guides are telling you like you need to like drop the restraints over yourself, which I see that happening. I feel like you kind of pull like for a long time you created a wall that you couldn't get past. Like you have been stuck because of your own self. And I feel like you're realizing your higher calling, and that is again month of July. I think you're realizing your higher calling, what you're supposed to do within this situation. And you're not in your own way. Like you don't have the blindfolds on anymore. You're seeing things for what they are. Like maybe you are in a long-term relationship and it's just not treating you, and you're seeing it and you're like, you know what? I'd rather be alone than be in this situation. I'd rather be working, not working than working at this job, or I'd rather take a pay cut than to be in this career. I'd rather do X, Y. Like there's a list of things, right? because I know you know your worth. And you know it doesn't matter at the end because your happiness is most important. Um More important than anything else, if that makes sense. So, keeping that in mind, um let's go ahead and see what the last cards have to say. Because I think your guides are very much like trying to get you to walk away from something not serving you anymore. And a lot of the people, like it could be relationship, but a lot I feel like is like a career. Yeah, leadership. So that's why I'm getting like career. So leadership card coming here. I feel like it's just for you to be able to take the lead. I think like whatever situation that you're in when it comes to work, it's just not for you. Like maybe you're like more of an entrepreneur than anything. Maybe you're not supposed to be working for someone. Maybe you're supposed to be working for yourself. But this is a card for the higher self. Again, like you've been training this for a lifetime. Like I think like your higher self knows what like you have been through in the past in terms of lifetimes and all the lessons that you learned then and now. And so this is just like, you know, you're being called for something more. And that's just been the theme of this entire reading is there's something more and you know there's something more and it's just the fear around it. Yeah. And that makes so much sense. So I'm getting the sense right now. So we have the Hierophant, 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles. Did I say? Yes, that's correct. So the situation that you're in right now feels to me like, I'm going to just say work. Again, this doesn't have to be work. But I'm getting a sense of like you are putting the energy is like you are trying your best to kind of lead. Again, there's leadership there. Like you're helping people, but like you're helping things is just not being I have an energy and like a vision, but I don't have words, and that's what's bothering me. So sometimes when I do a reading, I have like words and like knowings and like this like blip. I can't even explain it. It just feels like a bubble pops or I get visuals. And I, in this instance, am just getting such like I have it and I feel it, but I can't get it out into words. So I feel like I'll just give you an example of like I'll tell you I'm walking into work and like someone's asking me for help. I'm doing that. I'm doing more than I should, like a cleanup. I'll make more calls. I just like want things. I just am so passionate for this company to run correctly and smoothly, but nobody else cares. And then on top of that, I'm seeing other people being mistreated. I feel like upper management or other people are just handling things poorly. And that's just making the rest of the work environment just not succeed or it's not healthy. And so, like, I feel like there's a loss within this. Like, I really feel like you walking away is like your best case scenario because like you're not being treated well. That's the energy that I'm getting. And that's the same thing that you can say for a relationship. Like I just don't get the energy that you're treated well. And I that's the 5 of Cups. Like there's a loss, there's sadness, there's grief. And I mean, again, like I feel like you do end up walking away because I think again, you realize that you have a higher calling. So your guides, obviously, you know, you have free will. Your guides all like always want the best for you. And they're always like, and this has like been every reading so far with every sign, is all the guides want is for everyone to just walk through that door and not be in this like consistent cycle. Because again, as a collective, I've been getting and I've been wanting to do a reading like this for a long time, since last mid-month because I kept getting this intuitive push. And it's like everyone's like, I'm done. Like I want something different. Well, then do something different. That because this is the collective energy right now. So I can imagine that you're probably feeling the same way. And so your guys are like, you know, it might be scary to walk away from something, but that's like the move. I think that's the move in order for you to kind of get what you want out of life and manifest and get that calling kind of figured out. And again, sweet results await. So there's nothing like you don't have anything bad coming up. You know what I mean? There's nothing bad that can necessarily come out of this. I mean, if it does, it's all a lesson and you'll always make it out of it. But it just seems like you're going to get more out of like walking through the door and leaving this behind than staying in it. But let's go ahead and get some advice. The last set of cards here. Advice, like last tidbits from your guides, kind of pivot you in the month of July. So we have 4 of crystals. I don't know why I tell you that, because nobody knows what that means. Control, security, perception and truth, and comfort and community. Yeah, I mean, this is what your guides kind of see coming, right? Their advice right now is it's giving me, knowing like all this information that they're kind of spewing out in this reading, to get perspective on that and realize like what could come and where you're at, because that's the truth. That's the actual truth of what is happening, right? And I think you see it. I think you realize it. I think you've known this for a while. I think you've wanted to change for some time, and it's just the fear aspect. There's also the sense of wanting security and like the control. Like, it's again scarcity mindset. Like, am I going to pay the bills? Am I going to be able to survive? Like, there is a sense of needing that security. But your guys are really wanting you to know that this is the chapter, and you have the means of getting to the next phase with the fact that you have like, what's the word I'm looking for? Support system. Like, you have the support system, you have the strength. If you don't feel like you have a support system, like, you are a support system. Like, you've gotten out, like, you have succeeded in everything else in your life to this day, correct? Like, you're here watching this video, then you've succeeded. Like, that's it. Then like everything else that comes like from your future, like, you can, like, anything that happens when you cross that door, like, you can handle. That's what I meant to say. Anything that comes your way, you can handle, because you've handled it up until this point. But whatever you're doing now isn't meant for you. And I think you know that, and I think you feel it. I feel like you're unhappy. If I can tell you that going through that door, there's happiness behind it, then why not just take a leap of faith? I mean, the Fool is there. You're taking a leap of faith is what your guides want you to do. And again, we all have free will. You don't need to. And there's no right or wrong. And it's just a matter of like just finding the happiness within either journey. So if this message did resonate, definitely like and subscribe, definitely leave a comment so people don't feel like they're alone. And I appreciate you guys for coming back, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.